Well, Gidon Novick is a chartered accountant. You can forgive him that. He became better known as a marketer, the guy who created the Kalula.com brand in South Africa. And in recent years, he's done all sorts of other things, including more recently moving into managing other people's money, or at least creating a facility to help other people invest their money in projects and get a tax break. This is the MoneyMakers. I'm Bruce Whitfield, and tonight I'm joined by the founder of Lucid Ventures, Gidon Novick, to talk about an entrepreneurial journey and why he is bullish about businesses in South Africa. It's good to see you again, Gidon Novick. Common results, not bad. Your old stomping ground.
Yeah,
there's life in the South African economy, clearly, because it's predominantly making its money here, and that's what you're betting on with Lucid Ventures.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm incredibly bullish, which may sound strange, and I'm bullish because I think the future of our economy is new businesses and entrepreneurial businesses. It's the space that I love, and it's the space that I'm seeing more and more opportunities, more and more energy, and thanks to some new legislation, more and more capital flowing in.
Essentially, Lucid Ventures, which is something you've created with a group of mates, can you disclose who's in? Who are the partners in Lucid Ventures?
Yeah, we've got some great people, guys like Michael Jordan, who's joined the fund, Alon Apteka. I can't list them all. There's a few others, but great bunch of guys.
No, but guys who've made money in the corporate sector, who are then taking some of those gains and saying, how do we invest for potential future gain, but also to drive growth in the economy?
Exactly. So the investor base that we selected was guys that have built businesses, they're great entrepreneurs, they've got a track record, and they've got money to invest. So that was the kind of investor base that we put together with Lucid.
Okay, so any club has got a membership fee and there's a joining fee. What is the joining fee for Lucid Ventures? What's the bare minimum that is required?
Yeah, the minimum is around $1 million. So, but most of the guys have invested quite a bit more than that. And it's obviously on the back of a very generous tax incentive.
It's Section 12J of the Income Tax Act, and it allows for a full tax rebate on any investment into a certain class of entrepreneurial investment.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you identify what qualifies and what doesn't?
Well, they're very clear. So they're quite clear on what doesn't qualify. So, for example, property companies, we can't invest into property companies.
That would be too easy.
Yeah, it would be too easy. Financial services businesses we can't invest into. And really the intent is to invest in real businesses, businesses that create economic activity and businesses that ultimately create jobs as well.
So it can be across any sector, across any industry. So you could go into agriculture, go into fruit production if you like, you can go to tech space, you can go into the restaurant trade for argument's sake.
Very much so.
Okay, so here you've got a group of entrepreneurs, what, 10, 20?
Yeah,
30?
just over 20.
20 so far. Is it an open club? Will you invite more to the party?
We're inviting a few more guys.
So money is one entrance ticket to the club. What else do they have to bring to the party? This is a bit like a dragon's den. You have to have a proven track record so that you can actually add value within the ecosystem.
Exactly. Well, experience is the big one. You know, these are guys that have built businesses. They're entrepreneurs. They know how hard it is. I think only entrepreneurs really understand how difficult it is to build a new business. The challenges that one faces. So these are guys that have done that, are willing to give back some of their time, not a massive amount of time, but if I call them up and I'm dealing with a business in a sector that they're familiar with, they are more than happy to provide input. And they're also guys that are exposed to leads. They see companies, they see opportunities, and instead of having to worry about how they get involved, they just pass it on to me, and we look at it in the fund.
What are the rules of engagement? I mean, so there's a pot of money. Let's call it 50 million rand. Have you got 50 million rand?
Yeah, we've got a bit more.
Okay, 100 million rand.
Yeah.
Okay,
close. You're getting close.
Let's not play cat and mouse over here. Let's call it 100 million rand is in a pot, 20 investors. What are the rules of engagement? I'm a very wealthy, experienced entrepreneur, and I give you 5 million rand.
Yeah.
What do you expect of me in addition to that 5 million rand?
Yeah. Well, of the investor base, we've got an investment committee. So those are the guys that that really are making the decisions together with me. And that's the critical piece. The investment committee, obviously, in a fund is critical. We ask of the guys to be honest upfront, to be critical, to debate things extensively. They're hard decisions to make. We're making decisions with a lot of uncertainty. Early stage businesses, even though we require a proven concept, obviously have many hurdles still to overcome, and so there is risk.
And the investors can't pick and choose which bits of the fund they want to invest in. No. You're all in.
They're all in. They're all in.
That's quite a substantial risk, because how many investments have you made so far?
4.
So one of those goes down, and a portion of that 100 million rand pot of cash is gone forever for everybody.
Yeah.
You spread the risk across 20 people, but still there's a portion of your investment that's gone.
But more importantly is to spread the risk across several companies. So that's that's the portfolio that we've got to build. We're not taking a view that we do or die. We're not taking do or die bets on businesses. So we're not a kind of tech fund that's betting on glory or nothing. We're betting on businesses that have real potential. The real kind of optionalities, are they going to be big businesses, which we don't know. We're going to try and help them become big businesses and substantial businesses, but we're not kind of banking on a few of them flaming out.
How are you identifying candidates for investment? Because no doubt there is a queue around the block of people looking for funding. It's the rarest commodity when it comes to people starting up their businesses.
Yeah, it is. And initially we were just we were chasing too many leads and talking to too many people. So having a sector focus, I think, is a start. Our sector focus is hospitality and tourism. So we're looking for businesses within that space. It's a space that we understand fairly well. I won't say very well, we're still learning. But it's a space that is growing. Obviously, tourism is showing excellent growth. And in the South African context, that's a sector that makes sense to me. It's a sector that creates real jobs. It's a sector that we are globally extremely competitive. And more so as time goes on. If you just look at the flights coming into South Africa, Emirates flying 3 times a day just into Cape Town, 3 times a day into Joburg. It always used to be the issue when I was in the airline industry.
You understand that well,
yeah,
yes.
the tourism, was players in the tourism industry were always complaining about not enough access. We're now getting proper access for foreigners to come in. The currency helps, obviously, rand strengthening a bit now makes it a little bit more expensive. But it's an incredibly competitive global tourism offering that we have in South Africa.
So how then do you make decisions in that sector? Because it is also a highly competitive and highly traded sector. If you go into the hospitality space, if you fall over game farms all over the country nowadays, for example, there are hotels 10 a penny in our major tourist centres, there are B&Bs all over the place. Which segment are you tapping?
Yeah, so we're looking for those entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, within any sector, even a well-traded sector, if you find that special entrepreneur, what does an entrepreneur do? They're able to find the gap, they're able to find the angle.
So what have you funded so far?
So we funded a Jamie's Italian restaurant. We funded units in a new Radisson hotel going up in Cape Town. We funded a company called Tented Adventures. They do tented safaris in the bush within South Africa. And we funded a company called City Helicopters, which does helicopter tourism within mainly in the Cape Town area.
And what sort of returns are you demanding from those investments? Because there's quite a big capital startup. There's a big startup cost for all of those businesses.
Yeah.
I suppose Jamie's is probably the smallest. You get a licensing deal and then you open up a restaurant. That's kind of contained.
Yeah.
But you go into the bush and you start logistics there, or you go to helicopters and you've got capital cost of the equipment there. I mean, these are pricey enterprises to get started.
Yeah, so we're looking for, the returns must be good. So I think firstly, we're asking our investors to invest in rands. The guys that we're talking to, our investor base, generally can take their money offshore and can convert into. So we're saying invest in rands. Straight away, there's a premium on that. We're asking them to invest in a riskier asset class. There's obviously a premium on that as well. So to our investors, we're saying 25% is certainly our target. My money is in there as well. It's certainly what I would expect. The tax benefit helps a lot.
How do the Novick kids feel about their inheritance being stuck in high risk?
They have no say.
Excellent. That's good. I'm glad you could keep to traditional values from that respect.
Exactly. There's not always democracy in these kind of things. But so it's got to be a decent. But it's a long-term view. It's not. We're not.
How long do you have to be tied in as an investor within Lucid Ventures?
5 years.
So and that's a requirement of Section 12J.
Yeah.
You can't have people sort of flitting in and flitting out with their money.
Yeah. Yeah, so to get to keep the tax benefit, you've got to be invested for 5 years.
Are you focusing exclusively on tourism for now?
Tourism and hospitality for now, but we're open. We
a great idea falls into your lap. You'd be mad to turn it down.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think there's enough scope there. We obviously need to see how the fund evolves over time, but for now, that's a sector that's pretty fragmented, a lot of entrepreneurial activity, and as I say, it's a high growth
I'm doing some calculations in my head and I've got it horribly wrong, but there was 100 in the pot from 20-ish investors.
Yeah.
You've invested 20 so far?
No, a bit more than that.
A bit more than 20 so far?
Yeah. And one of the things that we're trying to do with our investment, we ideally don't want to have 15, let's say the fund stays at the current size. We don't want to have 15 investments that we're chasing after. So we're looking for companies that need capital now, but are likely to need growth capital going forward. So that's kind of the ideal target company. So we want to work with them through the phases of growth that hopefully they'll experience.
And I mean, you're open for business.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the queue can form around the block, and it gives an opportunity also for South African investors to take serious bets. Would you take foreign money?
We can't, not
you
within
can't.
the 12J.
No,
so the
can't.
12J, it's South African. It's obviously South African taxpayers that benefit. The businesses need to be South African businesses as well. They can export, they can expand globally, but the core business needs to be in South Africa.
It's an exciting venture. It really is. The restaurant trade is gutsy. You've done it yourself. You know what it's like. You started a Mexican chain, which you've kept a share in, I think, which is sold to Famous Brands.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that going? Is that tie-up is going well? So have you proven the exception that you can make money in restaurants?
You can. There's no doubt. You need a great brand, great operators, and great locations. I mean, it sounds very easy, but if you can put those three together.
When last did you do a full day's work?
Today.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Gidon Novick, the founder of Lucid Ventures. What an exciting enterprise. You get 20 like-minded people with deep pockets, with money they're prepared to risk. You get the National Treasury to give you a tax break, and then you pay it forward and make investments in promising South African companies. Here's to many more Lucid Ventures of the future. More ventures, lucid and otherwise, because sometimes some of the people we get on the show aren't that lucid. But get on this. Thank you for watching The MoneyMakers. Till next time. Bye-bye.